thank you for joining me today for my video all about Ostara, or also known as spring equinox. So I don't know about you, but it's been a very long and cold and dark winter here for me, and today it is still winter. It is still cold and dark and wet and grey, but I really wanted to bring you some sunshine, so I've got my spring clothes on and I want to bring some colour and brightness to your day in this video. So I hope it helps you really tune into the equinox energy and just the knowledge that spring is coming, it's around the corner, it's on the way, even though it feels like it's not happening sometimes, and I feel that too very much. So I have some spring flowers with me. I've got some daffodils and some tulips and some hyacinths, and hyacinths are my all-time favourite spring flower because I just love the smell of them so much. And these flowers are starting to bloom outdoors as well. I've noticed daffodils and I've noticed hyacinths. Some hyacinths are starting to creep through. Mine are there, they haven't opened yet, but I can't wait for them to, and then my whole garden will smell beautiful. So I'll show you those, and I'll show you some of the other spring-like changes around my home that I've been making to welcome in the warmth and the light, which is what we do when it's spring equinox, or if you want to call it so, we call it Ostara. So Ostara is one of the Wheel of the Year celebrations, and we have 8 of them throughout the year. I have done videos to explain other Wheel of the Year celebrations and just what the Wheel of the Year is in general. So check those out if you haven't done yet. And this is the next one, the spring equinox. It's the halfway point between winter solstice and summer solstice. So yes, it can feel like it's still a long, dark, cold winter, but the light is returning and we can guarantee that. So it will always be the case. I'm going to take you along with me while I do some of my Ostara rituals and get ready for the season. And I'm going to go through my Ostara workbook, which I sell in my Etsy shop, and it tells you all about the celebration, what it means, and the rituals in here. So I will leave a link for that in the description. I'm sure if you haven't heard of Ostara, you will have heard of Easter, which is the Christian adaptation of the pagan ritual of Ostara. So it has some of the same themes along the same lines. So rebirth, new life, fresh start, new beginnings, and a lot of the symbology is the same as well. So you'll find rabbits and hares, eggs and flowers, baby lambs, all those beautiful things that we associate with the spring season. So the rituals that we're going to be doing today are ones that are welcoming in that fresh start, that new beginning, and that fresh energy for spring. So just a little introduction. I am Imogen and this is my channel, and you're very welcome here, and I love to talk about anything to do with spirituality, paganism, mythology, and that's basically what I do here. I probably left something off the list, but the Wheel of the Year celebrations are my favourite videos, so I hope you enjoy, and please like and subscribe for more of this kind of content. As spring equinox is a solar event, we cannot say it's going to be the same day every year. So every year it'll probably change, but it's around the 20th of March, and it only changes by potentially a couple of days. So in the Celtic tradition, this was the festival of the goddess Ostara, and this particular festival that we kind of class as the spring equinox festival had Celtic influence as well as Germanic and likely Roman, and potentially from even further afield as well, all influence this festival. So one of the themes is balance, and the reason for that is the day and the night are an equal length for the first time since autumn equinox. And yeah, it's a nice balance today. You have the same length of day as you do as night, and that's something that I'm sure a lot of people have been looking forward to over winter, and people love to welcome back the light in any way, shape and form. Also, it's known as the first official day of spring. Even though it might not feel it yet and you still might have some wintry days, it's spring, so just be springy, spring-like. And we can see all around us these new beginnings, the flowers starting to bloom, baby animals, and just the world coming back to life after a cold and sort of barren spell of winter, which is also necessary, but it's also absolutely fine to be excited about the return of the warmth and the light. Ostara was a goddess who has a few different origin stories that I've heard of, and a lot of them are associated with rabbits or hares and eggs, so magic as well. So one story I've heard is that Ostara magically turns a chick into a hare, and then the hare turns itself back into a chick or something along these lines, and then it lays the magical eggs that we receive at Easter time. I've also heard another story which I prefer and think it's lovely, that a hare gifts Ostara an egg, and it's his only possession, and he worries that this isn't going to be enough of a gift for the amazing goddess. And because it's all he has, it's definitely enough for her, and she then allows him to become her totem animal in appreciation for what he's done. He's given her everything. Another story I've heard is that Ostara turns a foe into a hare and sends him to the sky as a constellation Lupus, which then he is allowed to come back down to earth on one day a year to give the magical eggs, which is obviously the Easter egg or Ostara egg. In Wiccan tradition, we kind of bring in the ancient Greek story of Kor or Persephone and her return to the earth and bringing back the new life that's been barren while she's been in the underworld as the queen of the underworld, and then she returns every spring and brings back the new life and the beauty of spring, and then stays throughout the summer and goes back again for winter. Well, that's enough talking about Ostara, so I'm going to do some rituals and I'll take you along and explain them as I go, and let's just enjoy. One thing I would really love to do is to get outside and go for a walk. Unfortunately, it's a bit cold and wet for me, so I'm not going to do that today, and also I do have a cold as well. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying really hard not to let it show. And I will definitely be doing that on the actual date of Ostara, because today is a couple of weeks beforehand, so I have time to prepare and make sure that I get out and about, and I will share that with you nearer the time. So let's go and do some rituals. One of the themes of my Ostara rituals is cleansing and cleaning, both energetically and physically. So I'm going to clean up my home somewhat and also do some energy cleansing. Usually I would use incense smoke for energy cleansing, but recently I bought a crystal singing bowl. As you can see, I'm quite happy about that. I've always wanted one. And I'm going to do some sound cleansing instead today, so I hope you enjoy. Also, I have my Tibetan bell, which I use a lot of as well. So I'm going to place the singing bowl in the room and get it going, and then I'm going to walk up around with my bell and do some cleansing like that as well. So it's a double-pronged attack. And whoop. Yeah, that I'll be using. I use this often with my Reiki clients, and I will be using this for my Reiki clients in future as well, so it's very exciting.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you get me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
I'm going to use this table here to make a little bit of an altar. So I'm going to put some egg shapes in here. And then I'm going to put some springy New Beginnings crystals. I have some springy, equinox-y sort of cards from my oracle decks. I have Spirit Guardian of Spring, Daffodil Fairy, which is for New Beginnings as well. They are from the Sacred Forest Oracle by Denise Lynn. And I have Spring Equinox Rebirth, which is from the Earth Magic Oracle by Stephen Farmer, and the Ostara Fertility card, which is from the Goddess Guidance deck by Doreen Virtue. It says this is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. So that's there. And when spring equinox comes, I will be lighting this candle and reflecting on this altar. Well, I did have to go out, so I had to get changed. Unfortunately, it's still far too cold for my little spring dress. There are a couple of things that I've not done today that I'm going to do on Equinox. One is open every single window and door in my whole house for at least half an hour and just let the fresh air just flow through and blow away the cobwebs and just really revitalise, re-energise and reset the energy in the house. I will also be doing more spring cleaning, which I like to do a deep clean of each area, which might take me months because I don't particularly like cleaning, I don't want to clean, but I will go through things one by one, each room, and give everything a really good clean. And I'm not going to do it all in one day, I don't want to, but I will start it now. Something else which I will be doing is I will be cooking some fresh foods and hopefully a feast for my family, something that we can all eat together and make it spring-like, make it fresh, and starting as I mean to go on, which is spending time with my family and enjoying the best the season has to offer. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment and I would love to know what you thought of the video, what you want to hear more about, if there was enough detail for you, and I will speak to you next time. So lots of love. Bye.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite.